Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Crossover Day +1, day 29 of the legislative session. Call the meeting of the House Higher Education meeting to order. We have one item on the agenda this afternoon. It's a House resolution only, so it doesn't have to cross over. So we want to go ahead with that. We have HR 898 by Representative Metz, LC 50-0383S. And if there's no objection, we'll get right to it. Representative, you can present this from your seat if you'll press the button so I know which microphone to turn on. Yes, ma'am, you have the floor. Tell us about your proposition.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all members of the Higher Education Committee for all of your hard work during the legislative session. And especially our chair. He is never too busy to take the time to try to deal with issues and problems and questions. And for that, I want to say thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today, we have a substitute to HR 898. And it's a simple resolution. The resolution is to recognize and condemn threats of violence against historically Black colleges and universities, and also reaffirming support for HBCUs and their students and for other purposes. It's my understanding that the Federal Bureau of Investigation is still investigating the threats. And if you would turn to the second page, starting lines 16 through 29, we have listed all of the HBCUs that received threats. The first one was January 5th. The second was January 31st. And the last one was February 1st. And be it resolved that the members of this body condemn threats of violence made against historically Black colleges and universities, including bomb threats made against several HBCUs on January 5th, January 31st, and February 1st. And be it further resolved that the members of this body recognize Black History Month, which we do recognize, and honor the legacy of HBCUs during Black History Month. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am, and thank you for bringing the resolution. Are there the members have questions or comments? I see the Secretary of the Committee, Representative Bentley.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, committee members. Thank you, Representative Metz, for your work on Resolution 898, acknowledging what's been happening to our historically Black colleges across the state of Georgia, as well as other states. We all know that I represent Fort Valley State University, and we're so very proud, Mr. Chair, to have in our presence this afternoon a representative from Savannah State University. So if it's okay with the chairman and other members, she's available to give some greetings on behalf of Savannah State at the appropriate time.
We'll do that. Let's get through this and we'll give her a moment. Absolutely. Any further questions, comments on the resolution? Questions for the author? Yes, ma'am.
A question. Didn't I hear over the media that there was a recent school? With what school? Do you know what? Morehouse, and Morehouse is already listed. Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. But I thought it was another one that.
Yes, ma'am. She's just as weak. I think, well, I was going to say, I think this may be ongoing. I hope it would not be ongoing, but the portion, I believe the lady in speaking with her, we wanted to just recognize the situation, whether these were unfounded and if you would say hoax or not, they still are traumatic to the students, the faculty, and the administration. I was talking with somebody this morning. I mean, you can imagine having a child or a relative. It could be a brother, sister, it could be a professor on a campus and being thousands of miles away and having this, whether the threat is real or not, it is just as traumatic until it's run to ground and find that. So with that, if there are no further questions for the gentlelady, we have before us HR 898 LC 500383S. That's available. Let me ask, did we have anybody sign up to speak? I'm sorry, before I get into a motion, is there anyone that wishes to speak to the resolution? I'll allow, Savannah State to speak later if they don't want to speak to the resolution. No one to speak to the resolution. Then we have this before us for action today. What's the pleasure of the committee in regards to
Mr. Chair.
we have a motion to pass. Is there a second?
Second.
Second,
I have a second, and then I heard a voice online there that
this Representative Bruno.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I'll recognize you under discussion here. Did you have something you'd like to add?
Oh, no, I was just saying, seconded, that's all.
Oh, yes, ma'am. We'll record that as well. We appear to have we have a motion by Representative Bentley and multiple seconds at this. Any discussion on this motion? Motion is to move this to the Rules Committee with a due pass recommendation. Any discussion? No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
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 Give it plenty of time. Any opposed? No. I hear no opposition. This is passed unanimously. LC 500383S will move along to the Rules Committee. Representative Metz, and you have to get a form from the Rules Committee, and I'll sign it on the floor. If you'll do that this afternoon, go by the office and do that. With that, we had no further business, but if the committee would give us just a moment here, does Savannah State want to come and talk to us? Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I'm Leandria Michael from Savannah State University. I first want to thank you all for the work that you do today, especially with this bill. It means a lot to us, but every day I do want to recognize our alum, Representative Edna Jackson. And then I do want to invite you all. I know one of the senators is doing HBCU Heritage Day at the Capitol at 2:30. So if you are around, please come and celebrate with us. Savannah State is the state's oldest public historically Black college or university. So we definitely have a lot of things that we want to share. But thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining and enjoyed our visit early in the week with your president. It's they have a lot to offer in Savannah State. Sometimes we haven't been able to get around because of the pandemic. Well, we're gonna if our health, if everyone's health holds and we have a good clear summer, we're going to try to do that as a committee, get out and see some of our campuses. If there's no further business, I know there are other meetings around the Capitol Hill this morning, and we have remind everybody we do have a floor session at 2:00. We very seldom meet that. I do want to say this as we're adjourning. We will meet next Wednesday at our appointed time of 1 o'clock. We are also planning to meet Thursday. That's a committee day. We have a number of Senate propositions that we want to, sound on Wednesday, and then we'll hear again on Thursday. Some of them are more straightforward than others that we might be able to actually move them after 2 meetings. So we'll email you those bill numbers today. You could see them on the committee roster, but we'll email you those bill numbers in case that we have seen a sub in the office that we would have to look at next Wednesday. But with that, if there's no further business before the committee, will stand adjourned without objection. Hear no objection, we are adjourned.